Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 8. We are quickly going through this semester. I can't believe that we're already on week 8, but here we are. I know several of you are going to be starting your spring break soon, and I just want to emphasize that just whatever week you have your spring break, you're going to have 2 weeks to get the work done. That's just because all of you have very different spring breaks. I have students in 4 different school districts with 3 different weeks of spring break. And so that's just kind of how it goes. I will tell you, I am taking Rutherford County spring break, at least part of it, just to spend some time with my family because my own children are going to be off from school. And that's the last full week of March. So we actually, I don't think, have any work assigned for that particular week. So if your spring break was the week before, then you can just do your work that week and it will work out perfectly fine. So, but for this week, I decided to do the peer review just a little bit different, and that's just because some of y'all had a little bit of trouble with the email and whatnot, and so I figured this just might be easier on you if we just do it through the discussion board. So what you're going to do is upload a link to your peer review here. So that's your project. So whatever your project is, if it's a PowerPoint, if it's a Prezi, if it's a Word document, upload it into discussions. Make sure it's something that people can access easily. Please do not upload a Google Doc. Do not upload a Microsoft SharePoint from a school system unless it is MTSU. As MTSU students, you do have access to Microsoft Office through MTSU. So if you've done it through your school systems, then you might want to copy and paste it into MTSU's because it will not let you open it up in an MTSU platform. I don't know why that is, but they just do not like to talk to each other. I think, as I told you at the beginning of the semester, I found this out the hard way during COVID when my students were trying to log onto my laptop to do their schoolwork. But when they were doing that, I couldn't log into my MTSU stuff. It was weird. It's a security measure. It's because MTSU is constantly being hit with external threats trying to steal student information. You just can't do it. And so just to be fair warned, I'll try to be on top of it, like as soon as y'all upload something, and if I see that I can't open it, I'll let you know. So what you need to do is I want you to take a look at 2 of your classmates and give it a nice peer review by Friday. So that's a little bit different. I haven't uploaded it yet in here, but I'm about to upload a peer review form for you to fill out, and it will be reflected in this prompt in just a little while. So upload your your interview project by Wednesday and have the peer review completed by Friday, which is a little bit different than Sunday. That's just so that way your classmates can have enough time to get it finished. And speaking of, as we move forward, we're actually going to be moving into our very next project, which is, I think, a lot of fun. It's actually going to be a movie analysis. We're moving into our analysis unit. And just to kind of get our brains in that analysis format before we get into the genre analysis, which is something that we're going to talk about in just a little bit. Right now, I don't want you to worry about it too much. It is very involved. It's probably one of the more difficult projects we're doing this semester. But let's have a little bit of fun first, and we're going to analyze a movie. And I don't want just a review. A review is an analysis in its nature. But what you're going to do is take a look at a movie, construct a 1-page minimum, 12-point font and double space. I'm not asking for any type of formatting, but just the 12-point font and double space analysis of a movie. So with an analysis, you have criteria that you are using to judge whether or not something is good. You can't just say this is the best or the worst. You have to think what goes into making a good movie. So think about like the awards categories that you normally see with a movie. So you could include acting. Was the actor good? Did they make the right choice with an actor? Have you ever seen a movie and you're just like, man, I would not have casted that person in that role. They did not do a good job. Or on the other side, it's like, man, that person was just made for this role. They were perfect. That was such a good choice, and they did such a good job with what they had. The musical score. Musical scores are so important in movies. I mean, John Williams is the man. I mean, if you've seen E.T. or any of the Indiana Jones movies, just the scores that go along with the movies, they bring that pathos, that emotional appeal to a movie, and the soundtrack can really make or break a movie. The writing, so this is like a criticism of the Star Wars prequels and the sequels. So with the prequels, they were saying that the writing was just so bad that even though the actors were good, they just couldn't deliver because it was the writing. On the flip side of this, like my husband still talks about this, but the last three Star Wars movies, the sequels, episodes, 7, 8, 9, they were supposed to have three different directors, and those directors did not sit down and plan out a story before they started creating those movies. And so what you wound up with was three very disjointed movies where it was so funny. The Colin Trevorrow was supposed to direct the episode 9. After he saw episode 8, which was directed by Rian Johnson, he quit the project because Rian Johnson's movie didn't line up with his vision for his movie. And I was like, if y'all had just sat down and hammered this out and talked about it beforehand and wrote it out beforehand, you wouldn't have had that problem. Cinematography is just kind of like think about the sweeping, that's the camera directions. Like when you see these sweeping scenes going across like a beautiful ocean, you know, or did they do close-ups of the actors' faces or not? That's the cinematography. Emotional impact. Originality. There's this big debate in Hollywood is like, can they do anything original anymore? Directing, visual effects, costumes, whatever you want to do. But I want you to find at least 4. I don't want you to give me a plot summary of the movie. Just enough information to keep your reader, interest your reader without giving too much away. If you want to, you can also hit on character development, plot, theme, exigence, why you think they created the movie, if you wish. Your audience will be your peer group, and it's to be published in a school newspaper or presented on the morning announcement. So consider any constraints. You don't want to use bad language. You don't want to, have anything that could get you in trouble, so to say. So this is going to be due March 17th, so it's a quick turnaround, but it's just a page minimum. Next week, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, but for this week, what I want you to just worry about is, 1, the peer review for your interview project paper, because that's really important, but 2, just this week, think about a movie that you would like to watch. And here's the thing, guys, it can also be a movie that you don't like. There's nothing to say it has to be something that you love. It can be something that you hate. Kind of tear it apart a little bit if you want to, as long as you're doing it with the right analysis ideas. This week, too, we're also going to be hitting on logical fallacies. That's one of your asynchronous assignments, because especially in an analysis, you don't want to fall down the trap of using logical fallacies, especially if it's something that you're against. People tend to use them to kind of manipulate an audience into thinking a certain way. And you really, really do want to avoid them, because when you do use them, it can hurt your ethos, your credibility. So anyway, that is going to be this week and next week. As I said, I will be giving you 2 weeks to complete assignments if it's your school system's spring break. But this week, I do want everyone to try to participate in that peer review. So I can't remember, and I should know this off the top of my head, but if your school break is in spring break this week, do try to at least complete the peer review. The rest of the assignments can wait until later. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out and let me know.